Hello and welcome back to my channel. How are you all doing? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make this easy spicy marinated mushrooms in olive oil. If you want to know how to make this spicy marinated mushrooms in olive oil, please keep watching. So here are my ingredients. I've got 2 bunches of Shimeji mushrooms. I couldn't find the close cup mushrooms or the button mushrooms in my area, which is why I'm using the Shimeji mushrooms. But feel free to use any variety of mushroom that's available to you in your area. And for my spices, I've got 2 cloves of garlic, bay leaves, black peppercorn, chili pepper from my garden, and dried oregano. And I've also got my sea salt, olive oil, a glass jar, and vinegar. For the vinegar, feel free to use any type of vinegar that's available to you. I'm using apple cider vinegar. And here's an overview of all the ingredients which I'll be using. To begin, I'm going to cut the bottom part of the mushroom as we will not be needing that. After cutting the bottom part of the mushroom, I'm going to separate the mushrooms like so. This was me done with one of the bunches. I'll be moving on to the next one now. Now that I'm done separating the mushrooms, here's a closer look of what the Shimeji mushroom looks like. Now that I'm done separating the mushrooms, I'll give them a quick rinse with tap water. This is what the mushrooms look like after rinsing them. Now it's time to cook the mushrooms. I'm gonna fill my pot or pan with water, vinegar, and my 2 bay leaves and a tablespoon of salt. By the way, I'm using sea salt to cook the mushrooms. Also, feel free to adjust the measurement of your vinegar, water, and salt according to the quantity of mushrooms that you'll be cooking. Next, I'm going to stir the water vinegar mixture and add in the mushrooms. I'm going to leave the mushrooms to cook for 5 to 7 minutes and keep checking them so as to ensure that they aren't overcooked. Now that the mushrooms are fully cooked, I'm going to line a tray with a kitchen cloth which I'll be transferring the mushrooms onto. Again, feel free to use a kitchen cloth or a kitchen towel. This step is essential as the kitchen cloth or the kitchen towel helps to absorb all the extra moisture from the mushrooms. Now I'm transferring the mushrooms onto the tray and I'm going to spread them out evenly so that they can all cool down at the same time. This is what the tray looks like, so I'm gonna leave it to cool down completely for an hour or two. You could also use a fan to speed up the process if you're in a hurry. Over here are my sliced garlic and chili, which I'll be adding to the mushrooms. And here are the mushrooms, they're completely cool now. The next step is to transfer the mushrooms, spices and olive oil into the jar. Make sure that your jar has been washed and cleaned with hot water to avoid any form of contamination. I'm gonna start by adding some black peppercorns to my jar, some dried oregano, my sliced garlic and chili pepper, and some of the mushrooms, then some olive oil. When you're doing this, make sure that the mushrooms are well combined with the olive oil, as the olive oil will help preserve the mushrooms and keep them from going bad. I'm gonna repeat all the previous steps again until I've successfully transferred all the mushrooms, the spices and the olive oil into the jar. So, this is what your spicy marinated mushrooms in olive oil should look like. Remember to add enough olive oil to your mushrooms and make sure that they're fully submerged in the olive oil like so, because the olive oil will help preserve the mushrooms and keep them from going bad. Next, I'm going to put on the lid and store the spicy marinated mushrooms in a refrigerator for 5 to 7 days, so that the mushrooms can have enough time to soak up all the amazing flavors from the spices and the olive oil. Now it's been more than 5 days and this is what my easy spicy marinated mushrooms in olive oil looks like. I really can't wait to dig in. Over here, I've got a piece of my garlic and herb bread, which I made in a previous video. Feel free to check that out. Now, let's open the jar. Just look at that gorgeousness. As you can see, the mushrooms are fully submerged in olive oil. It smells so beautiful. I can smell the garlic and the spices in the air. And now, it's time for a taste test. Remember to always use a clean utensil whenever you're scooping out your mushrooms from the jar. This also goes for all fermented foods. Just look at that. Take a good look at that. Look at the mushrooms. They look absolutely beautiful on the bread. Finally, let's dig in. That tasted super good. I wish you could all have a taste of this with me. You can tell from the smile on my face. This is so perfect, and it goes very well with the rosemary bread. This is so good. So good. Looks like we've come to the end of this video, but I'm gonna leave a few notes here. Remember to always top up your jar of spicy marinated mushrooms with more olive oil each time you take a scoop out of the jar, so that the olive oil can help preserve the mushrooms. And the good thing about this is that the mushrooms can last for up to 4 months in the refrigerator. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section if you've got any questions. I'll be happy to answer that. And please subscribe to my channel, and I guess I will see you in my next one. Take care. Bye.